Okay, I'm using these AI titles and they're hilarious, but okay. I'm back. I had some food, feeling better, feeling ambitious, feeling ambitious today. Not all day. But right now, I'm feeling ambitious. Boron drum. That is not what I was trying to say. Okay. Let's pop this open as a full screen, baby. Full screen. Restart this capture. All right, you can see how Canadian I am. So, now that I'm feeling ambitious, um, earlier today I was on stream and we were kind of talking about, I need to be faster at making content. I need to do more interesting things. And then I was talking to my buddy who's a YouTuber, and he was mentioning how, he stopped spending so much time on crazy projects and like is really focusing on efficiency. And yeah, I totally agree. And I'm going to abandon all of that right now because, sorry, sorry, sparkling water. I'm going to abandon all that right now because I do have an idea that I think is crazy. And I've already mentioned it on this channel before. But I kind of just want to walk through. And since I want to show my ideation process, I can show also my like researching and validation process as well. And so the plan is I want to try and make a gondola system so that I can trap mice on the upper part of my property and transport them to the lower part of my property with minimal effort, and it'll be cute. And that's the whole idea. And it's crazy. It's a crazy ambitious thing to do for such a ridiculous reason, but I think that's kind of the point. And this is something that I would actually do. This isn't like I think this is a great video idea because this is what people would come up with for a video, but this is actually something that I thought of genuinely before thinking that it would be a good video idea. So I think it's kind of ticking all the boxes right now. The only box it's not ticking is it's not going to be easy to do. It might take a long time to do. It's probably going to cost money. I mean, it definitely will, but it might cost like more than I'm willing to spend, but we'll see. Um, so that's the plan. So I want to just start DIY gondola. And I just want to look and I just want to see what is out there because I've definitely seen people make gondolas before. I've definitely seen oh, that's fun. A little zombie gondola. Zombala. I've definitely seen DIY functioning model gondola. I think this is basically the system I'm going to have to make. Yeah, I don't want the angled things. But I think this just has the opportunity to be fun, cute, exciting. Everybody knows what a gondola is. Everybody knows what mice are. Functioning model gondola. And that's what I really want to. That's why I'm considering doing this video. Now, theoretically, I have like 17 days to release this next video. And not going to do that. I'm not going to be able to do this in that time frame. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if I can either extend or like maybe figure out a way that it is possible. Um, but it's going to be so much more complex than just a gondola system. Because, for one, it's going through a part of my property that is going to be heavily overgrown right now. So I'm going to have to spend the day to like clear that area out. And then it's also going to continue to overgrow. So, and this might be a part 2 thing, but I was thinking about making a car that actually I send down and it clears the way, and I can do that every couple months or whatever. So that's like maybe that's a way we can cut the time, is just like don't worry about that part now. But again, we're talking like it's like 500 feet away. Actually, I don't know. It might be like 250 feet away. I don't actually know. It's really far. Like I can't see, but it's because it's totally overgrown. Anyways, we'll figure that out. But the other thing about this is it's very packageable, right? So, I want to build a gondola system that will allow me to relocate trapped mice down a hill to the bottom portion of my property. This will be for a YouTube video, and I'd like to brainstorm thumbnail ideas. Can you show me what a good thumbnail for this video might look like? So here's the reality of YouTube, right? It's a packaging game. I've never made a video specifically for packaging. This last one, I honestly was kind of thinking it would be cool packaging, and it is kind of working. Oh my gosh, that is so wrong. Neither of these choices were helpful. Oh man, that food helped. I was feeling low N for a while there. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Create me a YouTube thumbnail of a wide angle shot showing a gondola designed to transport mice. Have me in the background looking excited as the gondola leaves the start of the ride. Don't know. Gemini loves to throw like so much text into thumbnails, so it's gonna do that here, pretty much guaranteed. But it's okay because we're just looking at the viability of this idea, and I'm gonna have to pitch this idea, so I want to have like some sort of. Okay, this is ridiculous. Can you make it look realistic, like it was a frame of the actual video? But this is the idea, and that is what the gondola will look like actually. That is what I want it to look like. That's very on on par with my what I'm thinking in my brain. Okay. Can you try again, but make it look very realistic? The only issue with this is mice are tiny, right? So I'm going to need it to be a shot like really close up on the gondola, and then me really small in the background, I think, is the key. Okay, so God, Gemini sucks sometimes. Don't tell it I said that because I don't want it to get mad at me when it takes over the world. So let's just let's just do this, right? We're gonna go like this. We're gonna go gondola. It's graphics maybe. Photos? No, let's go graphics. Oh, these are called gondolas too? I was wondering why it did that. Okay, I feel like this one, and then we zoom it the heck in. That's too much. Flip it this way. Hmm. The rope is going the wrong way, so. Uh. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna crop this bad boy. Like this. Done. Flip. Horizontal. So the key here, I'm trying to just make an image. Line. Circle. Wait, no. Can I do like oval? Black. Can I change? Oops. Okay. Right, so it's just going to be like that. And then I need a square. Let's make that a shape, I guess. right? And then we're going to go with a mouse. This is exactly the mouse that it is. So let's just do that. Let's remove the background. Let's get him small there. Wait, let's flip him, I guess. Yeah, and then we'll just crop this in. Like we're being so rough with this, but that's the point. Right? Little mouse in there. And then excited guy. Nice. This is awesome. You know, kind of like this kind of thing. But we can shrink this guy down. And I hope this sort of shows the perspective of it. And then is hill? Yeah. This is perfect. And so we want to send this back a bunch. Right? You know what I mean? Like that, basically. So now... Okay, so now we can take this and we can go back to little gem. Say, I am going to be building a gondola system to transport mice down to the bottom of my property. This will be a YouTube video, and I want to plan out a thumbnail. I've put together a very rough idea of the framing I'd like. Can you take this rough idea and make it look like a real photograph or single frame from the actual video? So then we go like this, we upload a file. Hang on. Okay, this. See what it comes up with. Let's see what it comes up with. Reaching out. Dun, 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 don't take up on. Okay, like this is pretty good. I think you have this the okay. This is pretty good. I was using I purposefully made the cables that are actually parallel in real life, not parallel to help show the perspective of the image. The human should be an adult, ideally me. And the spot on the land he is standing on is very far back from the spot that the mouse is. The pole with the pulley should be up on the same level as the human. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. You just got to try some stuff. But this is just, we're just trying to verify if this thumbnail is going to work or not. I feel like this might be cool. Like, that's so cute. Like I feel like right off the bat I can already tell there's going to be a great thumbnail opportunity here. Way better than what I've done in the past, because this tells a story right off the bat. Okay, all you did. Okay. Okay, this kind of works. Maybe make that. Actually, I'm gonna excited guy. Also, this needs to expand out that way. Excited guy pointing? Okay, this guy's like kind of Asian too, which is like suits me. He doesn't have legs though. Let's give him some legs. Let's give him some legs. Let's give him some legs. Yo, look at these. Give me more. I need more. Okay, let's just take this guy's. Oh yeah, look at this. He's gonna be like kind of in like jorts or whatever. And he's missing a hand, so these are all pointing, so that's fine. This is dumb. This is dumb. And then I think I need to like blur everything else. Actually, I'll just say that. I'll say that. Okay. Okay, try this version of the draft. I want it to look like the mouse and the cable car that it is in to be right up close to the camera. And I want the pole with the pulley and the guy and the human to be way back in the distance. the photo. I've never done this before. This is not how I do YouTube, but it is fun. It is fun. Where are my boys at? Where are my boys at? Oh, yeah, there we go. See what I'm talking about? Like that. Basically like that. Make the pole smaller and the guy bigger, but otherwise the perspective is great here. Reaching no, don't take a Got my little cat sitting next to me. It's so windy today. This sucks. So there's definitely like some hurdles I'm gonna have to jump through to do this. But I think the most important thing is just verifying to make sure this idea, I get a green light on it, and hopefully I can maybe extend it a little bit. Because I want to crush. I want this to crush. I do. Oh God. Yeah, today's not looking so fly. It was 1 p.m. yesterday that I had the big growth. Come on, what's going on? Is it because it's stormy a little bit? The only issue with this idea too is I won't be able to really live stream it too much. Actually, that's not true because honestly, a big part of it's going to be designing the trap, the gondola trap, and all that. So, oh gosh, this is going to be a very long project, I think. I always touch my eyes with my hands, and my hands are never clean, and then they start stinging. What is going on here, yo? What is going on here, yo? Beep, beep, beep. Okay. Copy this prompt. Let's reset. I think my internet is garb right now. Boom. I just want to do good. I just want to do well, and I think this could be fun. The only thing is I don't know how I'm gonna match this. I guess I could just do stuff all over the property, which sucks because I like the music stuff, but I can keep doing the music stuff, I suppose. I'll do songs for each of these, and I think that might be the way to go. Doing songs. Okay. No, this is way better. Make the pole a bit smaller and the guy a little bit bigger. I'm curious if Okay, that's fine. Wait, I make the guy slightly bigger. And obviously it's not going to look like I don't have a field like this, but this is just so I can pitch this idea better. Um, but all you need to care about is the fact that this mouse is sitting in this gondola looking super, super cute. It's not going to be quite like that. He's going to be way smaller, but that's okay. That's okay. So this will work. Reaching on across the water, I don't take a line. Starting to feel the motivation. Okay, no, this is fine. This is fine. I can watch other people's YouTube videos on stream, right? I think I can do that. So let's look at how to build a or let's functioning model. I'm gonna go with chairlift because I feel like that is actually garden scale gondola. This is by Alpine and Western Pacific Railroad. Shout out. Okay. Nice. Love this. I want to avoid having the posts midway through. I love this. I love this. I'll probably use a big concrete block like that, maybe. Nah. I'll just pour a. I will just pour a footing down there. Oh, okay. DIY chairlift. I've seen this one. This isn't what I'm talking about. The bowl wheel is the part that I'm not 100% sure about. Yep. This is insane. This is insane. Mine will be a very mini version of this. Okay, interesting. DIY chairlift bowl wheel. So the bowl wheel is the part that, like the big wheel that lets it, yeah, this. So let's just take a look at these, right? So just like giant bike wheels, and I think that's what I'll use. I'll just take apart a bike, and it looks like it has... Yeah, I think I can just take apart a bike. Okay. DIY model chairlift bike rim bowl wheel. So nobody's used a bike wheel for a bowl. Chairlift. Why are these images so small? So it's like it's got this, gosh. So this is a tensioner, looks like. So I could add tension to this whole thing, which I will need to do. Gonna need to be able to take it on and off sometimes because it's gonna go right over a road where I need a backhoe to go through sometimes. Okay. So the other thing I need to figure out how to make a steel airline cable loop seamless. No. How to seamlessly join airline cable ends. Welding each strand of the wire to the corresponding strand on the other end is the only way to make a continuous steel wire rope that will have the flexibility to go around a pulley, and even then the welded spots will be stiffer and more likely to strain. This is not true. Continuous wire ropes like a ski lift or haul rope are joined using a very precise cable splice. The splices require enough perfection that there are only a few people in the world qualified to do it. They fly anywhere in the globe when asked. Yeah, okay. How to splice airline cable. That was the wrong thing. Yeah, I'm not soldering this, bro. It's not your fault, bro. You don't know. You don't know what I'm doing. How could you? How could you know? Like this, right? Like that's kind of what I'm thinking. You just do something like that. DIY chairlift cable. To make a complete loop. With skiing today, a friend was wondering how the steel cable... We didn't notice any particular joint while watching the cable for a while, though we would certainly have missed it. Unwrap the strands and make the ends of the rope for a couple of meters on each end. Cut off half of the strands from each end. Weld the ends. The strength is mainly in the friction of the strands being wrapped. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How do you... Gosh, I really don't want to weld it, but I guess I could weld it. I do have a welder. I've never used it, though. Um, okay. For my gondola, for my mouse gondola, all that I'm finding online about splicing the airline cable requires welding the strands. Um, is there a way, is there a proven way to do this without welding? Because the welding actually doesn't seem to be where the strength is. God, I hate feeling like this. You're completely right to be skeptical of welding wire rope. Welding strands of tension cable that needs to pass over drive sheath, especially something as small as a car window motor, is a terrible idea. It creates a stiff point that won't articulate. If you need continuous loop that maintains perfectly uniform, so it doesn't. One historically proven mechanical way to do it with wire rope. The long splice, endless splice. This is the exact same method used to splice massive ski lift and cable car haul ropes, just scaled down to aircraft cable. It relies entirely on friction and the helical geometry of the wire. It requires no welding, no ferrules, and no crimps, meaning the finished splice is the exact same diameter as the rest. Doing this on a smaller diameter requires incredibly tiny tools, good lighting, and the patience of a saint. I do have the patience of a saint. Unwind the outer strands of both ends of the cable for a considerable distance, usually 40 to 50 times the diameter of the rope. Marrying the ends, you cut the core of the cable out where the two ends meet. You then marry the two ends by taking an unlaid strand from end A and laying it into the empty helical groove left by the unlaid strand of end B. Chasing the strands, you repeat this process. Am steel. If you haven't fully committed to the steel aircraft cable, I highly recommend swapping it out for a small diameter, ultra high molecular weight polyethylene rope like Am Steel Blue. No stretch. Okay, is Am Steel rope affordable, and will it last in weather? Oh, this feels crazy. This feels like a crazy idea. It's going to be huge. Huge scale, which I think is important for my channel, unfortunately. Through the initial purchase, okay. Yes to both, though the initial purchase requires a bit of an upfront investment. So how? Yikes, that's pretty expensive. Is there a cheaper alternative I can use just for this video? Because ultimately it would be nice to do it out of the steel cable, because then I can move equipment down the hill, which would be great. So it actually has a use aside from the mouse thing, but oh yeah, I can pick up a 500-foot spool of hollow braid polypropylene rope for about $40 to $50 Canadian. I like that because it's a hollow braid. Okay, so how to splice hollow braided rope. Into seamless loop. Banana bread, what's going on? Oh, you got a new profile picture, or was that always your Twitch profile picture? Anyways, I'm brainstorming the gondola video because I'm feeling like that's what I'm gonna have to do, and I'm excited and nervous about it. So I'm just like going through the research right now and seeing if this is going to be a valid idea. Ideally, a super valid idea. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I like that one. That one's fun. That one's fun. Well, it's kind of sad actually, but it like tells a story. Did I tell you about this idea at all? This video idea? Okay, so this is this is the idea. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the idea. So I have a mouse problem on my property, and I feel bad, like, killing them. So I'm going to create a gondola system so that I can trap them at night and then put the traps up on the gondola and send them downhill, way down to the bottom of my property, and then it'll automatically release them down there. So it's basically just like relocating mice using the most ridiculous method. I think it'll be a great engineering challenge. The big challenge is going to be having a trap which is shaped like a gondola like this. Obviously, it'll be way bigger than that. It'll probably capture like 20 mouse at a time, 20 mice. But then having this gondola system so that I hang it on the wire and it sends it down the hill, and then when it gets to the bottom of the hill, it somehow actuates a trap door on the bottom that opens it up and releases the mice at the bottom of the hill, and then it'll loop around and come back as an empty trap. It's going to be a big project. The reason I'm like motivated to do it right now is because I need some big ideas. I need some big ideas for this channel. And to like kind of fill the music void, I'll write a nice song about it too. But I want to do something that's more like general audience, I think. I want to try it out at least to see what happens. I think the packaging of this, like, this is just like, I literally sent I sent Google Gemini this image, and it came up with this thumbnail. So obviously this isn't what it's going to actually look like at the end of the day, but this is just to pitch the idea. I feel like it could be a pretty big video if I do it right. Now the catch is I technically only have a couple weeks to do this. So I'm just going through to figure out what I'm going to need and if I'm going to be able to do this. Now, what's nice is the part of my property where the pole will be, there's already like some foundation stuff in the ground that I can attach. I can rig the whole system up. I'm thinking about using a power window motor to drive the thing. And then for the bull wheel, which is the wheel at the top that the cable wraps around, I'll use bike rims. And then I'll just get smaller pulleys that go along that follow it down the rest of the path. And I think it could work. The 3D printing aspect is going to be the actual gondola thing and like the hooks that hang on. It's a much more challenging thing than it looks, I think, which will be interesting enough for the video. And then, yeah, the way that it releases the mouse at the bottom is going to be the big sort of like unique feature of this that I'm going to have to engineer. But yeah, you think that's fun? You think that's a fun idea? It's like a little different than the rest of my videos, so that's one concern. But I don't think it really matters too much because of how just like how good this thumbnail is. Like obviously this isn't it, but this tells a story so fast, and I've never had a thumbnail on YouTube like this before. And that's kind of the idea, is I want a video where you don't have, like all my other videos, you kind of have to understand, you have to have a certain level of understanding to get the thumbnail. Whereas this one, anybody could look at this and go like, okay, he built a thing where a mouse is on a gondola. What is that about? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And normally I don't like making videos based on what I think the audience is going to want. Or not based on what a general audience is going to want. I like making videos based on what I think my audience is going to like, and mostly based on what I'm feeling passionate about in the moment. But the sort of nice thing about this is an idea I had a week ago, and I wanted to do this without even thinking about making a video about it. So it is a natural idea that came into my head as something that I wanted to do. I didn't come up with this idea thinking like, oh, what can I make a video about? This was an idea that I legitimately was thinking this would be a useful thing. So it feels genuine enough to me to pursue it on the channel. I just gotta do it right. I just gotta do it right. And I think I can do it right. Technically speaking, I don't think it's actually that difficult. Like, it's going to be just a lot of like actual like physical work, which would be nice for me. I don't work out a lot, so the hill is like a couple 100 feet down, so it's going to be a significant amount of trekking up and down that hill. The cable's going to have to be like 550 feet long. There's a ton of trees in the way, so I have to kind of clear it out a little bit. I'm gonna try and not have to remove any trees, ideally, but like branches and stuff are gonna be in the way. There is another alternative. I could send it down this other direction of the property, and then it doesn't actually have to go through any trees, but not an ideal spot to put them. I'd like to just put them at the bottom of the property, then they're going to be less likely to come back up. So, yeah. That's the plan. I think it's fun. I think it's fun. I just don't know. I just don't know if logistically it's going to be that feasible yet. But like again, bike wheels basically free. Window motor $20. The cable's going to be the expensive part, probably like $100 for the cable. The wood, $100 for that. All the pulleys and stuff, extra $100. So not going to be crazy expensive, but it's going to be so cute. Like, look at this little guy. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling more and more like this is the plan. I don't know. I'm kind of going through a weird couple days right now, just trying to figure out it. It the fact that I'm kind of nervous about doing this makes me feel like it's the right direction to go. I definitely don't want to be a channel that isn't pushing boundaries. At least pushing my own boundaries. That's sort of the whole thing. Is I want to do things that are ridiculous for me. This is like ridiculous for anybody, I think. So, if it feels right, it has like kind of has like the energy of a of a banger. Um, it's got that sort of like Mark Rober squirrel, uh, squirrel obstacle course vibe to it. So that's the thinking. That's the thinking. Oh, I'm tired today. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on stream and start looking this stuff up to see if it's actually doable. It seems pretty doable, and like I've got my chat here. Um, Wait, where was that actual chat that I was talking? Wait, I was so confused. Oh, I think I was talking up here. Nope. Okay, so for the build, um, you know the details. Would a power window motor be strong enough to drive a bull wheel made of a bicycle rim? You having a good weekend, Banana Bread? Do anything exciting or nice? Nice. That's actually that's that's a good use of a weekend. Use it to relax, unwind. I'm gonna watch the new Avatar tonight. We've already planned it, but it's like 3.5 hours long, so I gotta start it soon. Um, that's how I'm gonna unwind today because I've been a little bit a little bit wound up this weekend. If you direct drive a standard 26-inch bicycle rim straight off the motor shaft, the trends might be a bit too intense. A typical winter motor spins. Whoa, 6.5 feet per second. That's so fast. That is way too fast. I think a foot per second would be fine. What about, are there any other cheap off the shelf items, motors that would be stronger and slower like this? Oh, you got to get that reading in. I haven't taken a book out from the library in so long. Last time I went to the library, I was actually trying to find a book for a video that I did a few years back. Okay, 1 per second using standard. We can look at the exact mechanical output required. 26-inch rim has a diameter of 2.16 feet, giving it a circumference of roughly 6.8 feet per revolution. 0.147 revolutions. 8 RPM. High torque motors natively. Okay. Let's look this bad boy up, right? Ten RPM. Okay, yeah, 10 RPM would be good. Oh yeah, I've seen these bad boys before. Why is that? Okay, 40 bucks isn't bad. 37 bucks isn't bad. Okay, so I think I'll be able to buy something like this. Should check out Princess Auto. Okay. Okay, that's good. I'm into that. That's probably, that'll be super easy to mount too. Wait. How do I couple the shaft to the bike rim? Old diagram that it gave me. 3 minutes for a round trip. That's fine. That'd be cool. Because I'm gonna have it so I can just turn it on and then leave, and then when I get back, it'll be ready to go. Coupling a tiny motor shaft to a large bicycle rim is easily the trickiest mechanical challenge of this build. Yeah, that's what I thought. You need a rigid connection that won't strip out under the torque. Since I'm using a bike rim, couldn't I use the window motor and gear it down with a sprocket and chain? Yeah, that's the other thing. How do I mount a bike rim? Likes to be supported on both sides, but I can't. Oh no, I could do that. I could do that. Tension to if you direct drive the wheel from the motor shaft, that entire pulling force bends directly against the motor's internal bearings, which are not designed for heavy radial loads. Exactly. By using a chain drive, the bicycle rim can be mounted normally on its own rugged axle fork, and the motor only has to handle the tension of the short drivetrain. Keeping the self-locking benefit, you retain the windows. So what I'm thinking here. I guess a hybrid design. I've never tried a hybrid design before. Okay, so let's change this to inches. So what I am thinking is basically, like if we assume, let's go with 26 inches for the rim. I'm doing this so rough here. This is going to be rough. Then we can extrude this. Oh no, we can extrude this, this, and this. What is it? Probably like 3 inches, I guess. And then let's extrude this 3 inches as well. We're going to go new body. Three inches is too much, I think. That's way too much. Yeah, 2 inches is about right. And then I can do a circular pattern of this. Let's go with 5 of them. Okay, this is our rim, right? There's our rim. And then, so the issue is, let's just go with 1 inch, just so it's like, it's obviously not 1 inch, but this will just make it easier to understand. A bike rim likes to be supported on 2 sides, right? So I can't just have a pole. Let's go 4 by 4. We'll probably do a 4 by 4 post here, right? So let's just say I have a post holding the bike rim up. That's like 6 feet tall. So obviously this, if there's any force pulling on the side of this, it's going to make it, it's going to be pulling, you know, this axle can't handle that force on its own. It needs to be supported at the top. But I also need the outside to be fully exposed because the cable's got to wrap around and then leave. But I have all this room back here, and actually this is perfect because this is how my setup is right now. So we can go 4 inches. We can extrude this forward like, I don't know, probably 5 feet. And then we can go up again from here. Holy wind, this sucks. We can go up again, another 6 feet. Right, and then we can go here. Doesn't even have to be a 4 by 4 at this point, but And then this guy can come over and join up with that. Right? And then if we really need to, like for strength or whatever, I'm just going to do a 2x4 here instead. Yo, a ragamuffin. Put the other bike rim on the other support. What do you mean exactly? I'm thinking like this. So now the pulling force, when there's all this tension from the rope pulling on this, it's fully supported on both sides. And all the strength is going to go into this frame. And I can have a cross beam too if I need to. And then, on top of that, I can have my initial pulleys for like the slope of the hill to be right here. Right, so we can have that, and then I can have another smaller pulley mounted here. Sure, let's do 7, I don't know. So these ones will go like this. So yeah, and I'm purely modeling this off of a um, a ski lift. And so like just to give you some perspective here, let's take a line and we're gonna go 250 feet. So like this is the bottom of the thing. And then we can go out another 25 feet. Okay. So this is the hill that it's going to go down. And so what this will allow is our cable wraps around here. Motor's hooked up somewhere along here. Cable wraps around, and then it uses these pulleys to start the angle downwards. So this is the drive. It's a horizontal line here. This is where I'll load the mouse traps. And then from this point on, the descent starts, and it goes all the way down. And then I'll just basically have to create the opposite of this on the bottom. But this is going to be, yeah, this is like the basic design for the main thing. And I'm not going to do, like, I was going to make it solar powered and stuff like that, but for now I'm just going to worry about making it function. So I'll just plug it into an extension cord plugged in outside. That will allow it to lower all the way down. Little gondola will come here. There will be another small wheel here that makes it go horizontal again. And then I guess maybe in between the second bow wheel and the pulley, this is where I'll create the release. Oh, I pictured that top support rotated 90 degrees with the bike rim on one side. The pulley's in front of it. Makes more sense. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. This works really well because I have right where I want to put this. So just for some more perspective, to the right of me is the end of my building. So my building's like right here. And then I have a chicken coop here. And this is where all the mouse activity is because they've got chicken food and stuff like that. And just like, you know, there's animals, and then I have goats here too. So the mice love it in this area, and I want to get them out of this area all the way down the hill. And so this will be the and so right here beside my building, there used to be a deck here, and there's footings in the ground already. That's pretty much exactly what this is. It's a tiny little ski lift, and so I'm gonna make traps. I'm gonna because right now I use bucket traps. Um, the mice only come out at night, so you never see them during the day. Um, but the chickens will eat the mice if they can catch them. But the mice are really fast. Um, but the we use these bucket traps, and I actually have like a little 3D printed thing that I attach to a bucket, and we can catch like if I let it get out of hand, we can catch like 20. Horrible hot take. Plug an extra long extension cord into itself and use it. It would actually be nice to have power going down the whole thing. Um, but I'm not going to be able to do that. But anyways, we use these bucket traps, and if I don't maintain the mice, I can catch like 20 mice in a bucket. But I don't want to kill them, and so like, typically you'd fill the bucket with water and it kills them, which is horrible. Um, electrify the cable. I saw a guy that built a chairlift, and that's exactly what he did. He used airline cable, and because it was one where he actually rode down it, and so the motor was attached to the car, not attached to the base, and yeah, it was like an exposed electrical wire. It seems crazy to me. Um, the so we can catch a bunch of mice in these buckets, and so basically I want to be able to set up these traps, catch them throughout the night, and then in the morning I'll just have a bucket full of live mice, which if I wanted to keep them alive, I would then have to go drive somewhere and release them, but like I'm surrounded by rural property, and I'm not going to go release mice on somebody else's property. So I'd have to drive like pretty far to like a park or something. So this way, sounds good, Banana Bread. I'm probably going to wrap up in a less than an hour here. So, but I'll try and be on tomorrow. I'm going to be heading out of town tomorrow in the morning, so I'm not sure if I'll be back in time for the regular stream period, but I'll do my best. Either way, always good to have you, Banana Bread, and I will see you next time I see you. But if I can just have these buckets of mice that I then just get to hang on this gondola and then send them down, and then when they get to the bottom of the ride, I need some sort of mechanical way that's entirely passive and totally automatic that releases the bottom of the bucket and empties the mice out at the bottom before it wraps around and comes back up the other side. So that's I think that's going to be the biggest engineering challenge. The other challenge is this hill here is super densely overgrown right now. Tons of trees, tons of bushes. It's the high growth season right now, so it's worse than ever. Ideally, I would also build a car that has like a bunch of weed whackers on it, and then I basically just like have it so it's powered by like a just like a 18-volt Milwaukee battery, and I could plug that in and just send it down, just weed whacking its way down. And I'll just make sure the weed whackers are bigger than the actual cars that need to go through there with the mice. But I'm going to design the traps to look cute. Gondola. I'll design the traps to look like this, basically. So it'll be fun. And like I'll put windows in it, and I'll attach a GoPro or whatever, or maybe just my phone. I'll attach that to it for the trip down so that it can watch the little mice as they travel through the woods. Um, I think it'll be fun, and yeah, I'll make these gondolas all kind of special looking. But they're just glorified buckets. But the bottom of it has to be able to open up, and it has to be able to open up automatically, and it has to be able to do it in a way that it's not going to open up on its own. Yo, Tin Talon, what's going on? I'm like, I'm all over the place today. Um, we're talking about the gondola. We're talking about the gondola project. Wait, you bet some ski resort already has solved the weed. You're Why do I feel like you're the one that solved that problem, or you're someone that could email somebody about that, or are you just suggesting that I try to find somebody? Okay, yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, it's something I might not worry about for this video because the other issue is I have to get this done ASAP. 104. Wait, what is that in Celsius? It seems high. What is that? 35 something? 40? Holy cow. Where are you, like in Florida or something? That's crazy. I think it's only like 20. Yeah, it's 19 degrees right now. I'm actually kind of cold. 66 Fahrenheit. That's wild. It's going to get hot here though. It does get up to about 40 in the summer, which is right when I'm going to be doing this. Where are you at? A ragamuffin. Oh, it's hot where you're at too. Whoa. Walking in my past. Yeah, it does get 40 here like for like a week in the summer. And I kind of live in a desert area, so it's like super dry where I'm at, so wildfires are like a big problem here. Um, but it also gets like minus 40 here for like a few weeks in the winter. And I basically don't have spring or fall. It just goes like straight winter and then actually that's a lie. It's kind of like spring right now. Feels like spring right now. But yeah, that's oh, West Texas, yeah. That makes sense. I'm more partial to a warmer climate. Um it makes working outside way harder though, that's for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, so the gondola, the release mechanism is going to be the biggest hurdle, I think. I don't know the best way to do it. But I think overall, this isn't going to be that hard of a project. I want to spend as little time down here as possible because I can't really drive down here. I can, but I have such a big truck that it makes it really hard to get down here with my truck. And the road to it is all overgrown right now, so I'd probably have to go down there first with like the backhoe or something. Cable Sag has entered the chat. Yeah, so that's the other thing. I'm hoping because the buckets are going to be light, pretty darn light, and this slope is like the slope I think is actually worse than this. I think it's like closer to like this. So I'm hoping I'm hoping I can kind of get away with like minimal if minimal or no support because the buckets are going to be so light. I'm in Canada. I'm western Canada. Um, little bit in, little more like 3 hours inland from Vancouver. Um, but if I have to, I could add. I can add supports. I could even maybe utilize like a tree. I could just attach some pulley systems, some support pulleys to the tree. I don't think that'll be too hard because there's like, yeah, there's already there's literally a million posts on the way down here. That's the biggest problem is I don't know if there's a clear shot without a tree in the way, and I really don't want to cut down a tree to do this. So I could go on either side of trees in certain areas, but I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. And I could potentially like sort of zigzag the path if I need to using pulleys and stuff, but I don't think that's really that feasible. I think if I can get a straight shot, that's the only real way to do this. I'm gonna scout it out tomorrow. I haven't I haven't I haven't looked. I haven't looked down this hill really, aside from just standing up here and looking down. I was just thinking desert sounded more like a not coastal and yeah. I'm further south than Prince George, but pretty much like that's kind of the vibe. I'm actually further south than like most of Canada. I'm like right at the border. I'm close to Kelowna. Kelowna is like kind of the biggest city where I'm at. It's weird that this is. Why isn't this straight? Doesn't matter. So, yeah, big project, but I honestly think I could crank this. I could crack this frame out in a day. I could crack both frames out in a day. Probably it's going to take me a while to gather all the ingredients for this. The power system's going to be super simple. I just need a 12-volt power supply and wire up a switch. I think I'll do a two-way switch so I can change direction if I need to. Bike rim, super easy to find. These, just whatever pulleys. I think I probably have some just sitting on the property somewhere. I think it's doable. I think it'll actually be pretty quick. But that's kind of the risk is I think it'll be quick. It could end up being a very, very difficult project. I mean, like, logistically, it is a big project. But realistically, the big parts are just the distance. It's the actual units. Like, this unit's pretty small. This unit will be pretty small. Yeah, and I want to spend as little time down here as possible because I don't have power down here. It's such a such a brutal walk up and down. So I want to ideally build pretty much everything and just kind of lug it down there and set it up. I'm going to have to pour some sort of foundation down here. Yeah, I'm going to have to pour some sort of foundation down there for sure. Just like a couple footings, same as up here. I'll do a couple footings. Ah, God, how am I going to dig the holes down there? I don't want to bring the excavator down there. It'd almost be nice if I could just park a vehicle down there and just use a vehicle as an anchor. No, but then the mice are going to live in the vehicle, so I don't want that. I don't want to create areas for them. The whole point of this area down here is like, there's like a huge field here, so it's nowhere near my neighbors. There's a massive field here. And then we just have like a little bit of a cleared area down here. And so the idea is the mice will have lots of places to live, but there's not going to be enough for them to really want to like vastly overpopulate the area. Up here, they want to breed because there's tons of food and options and stuff. But down here, it's just like the woods. So they're gonna kind of like disperse. Ideally, they'll disperse. Some of them will probably make it back up eventually, but if I'm catching 20 of them a night and sending them down, I think I can kind of like mitigate things and make it a little more. And then the other benefit too is then I can use this as a way to get material down here. Not big material, but like hand tools and stuff would be easier to transport, which is a benefit of this whole thing. And it's just nice. Like if this works, I can use pulleys, or I can use this sort of gondola thing to get things around my property, which would be nice. I always wanted to have like a little train system to transport materials. I think that'd be so fun. Uh, uh. So that's the plan. Um, that's the plan. What do you guys think of this? Is this crazy, or is this kind of cool? Or both? I guess crazy cool. Okay, good. Yeah, because I could have the whole motor mount here. Just have a sprocket, like literally just leave the sprocket. I'll just need one bike. I'll just find a bike for free or something and take it apart. I probably have a bike I could take apart. And then use the chain. Here, have the motor set up here. Put the power supply in a little weatherproof box. Plug it into power. Simple, so simple. So simple, so dumb, but I think it'll be fun. And then hopefully I can actually like capture an image like this for my thumbnail. I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing something like this. And then kind of doing something like, you got to throw a little bit of the clickbaity in there. You got to get a little bit clickbaity sometimes. And then have something like this. Make it red, obviously. Make it bold. Something like, I don't know, something like this, and then an arrow. Flip it. Something like this. Because the big reason, like, would you click that? Is that? Does the deadly thing add a curiosity to this video that would otherwise just be like, oh, he built a gondola for the mouse? Like, why? Obviously, the question is, why would he do this? But does deadly add a level of curiosity to this, or does it confuse things? That's what I'm curious to know. So the main reason I'm doing this, and the main reason why I genuinely want to do this, is because the mice I have are deer mice, and deer mice are the number one carriers of the hantavirus, which is like the rarest virus you can get. But it's still, if you get it, it's very, very bad for you. Um, and I want, like, I actually am majorly concerned about how many there are on my property. So I want to get them. Not around the I honestly don't care about them being in the wilderness, but I don't want them where I'm like working on a day-to-day basis. And they get into the house and stuff too. I have a lot of cats, so that kind of mitigates them inside the house, but I don't want them spending any time near my house. And yeah, so I think people might, like, I don't want people to think that I'm killing the mice, but maybe, that's a good curiosity gap. That is a good curiosity gap. Like, what is what is this gondola doing? Is it sending them to their death? I don't know. But this is kind of the plan. And then the title could be something like, uh, I don't know. Actually, Gemini had some good title options. What did it suggest here? Oh, my internet sucks today, guys. It's bad today. Uh, yeah, I built a 250-foot cable car for mice. Just like a super simple, like super matter of fact. It's it's good just because the idea is so crazy. I kind of like that. Simple. You can't really. Nice. Have fun, banana bread. Ruby, what's going on? Oh, I wish I could be on a pontoon boat. That sounds so fun. Have fun. Just stopping in. Got some stuff to do. I'll be lurking for a bit. um, yeah, good to see you, Ruby. We're just brainstorming the gondola video, which is feeling more and more like what I'm going to be doing next. Um, it's gonna be the this is the idea that's making me the most nervous about whether or not I'm going to be able to pull it off, and that's why I kind of like it as well. It's not the safe option. The safe option would be to do some sort of like 3D printed song thing or something. But I'm trying to kind of broaden the horizons of the channel a little bit. And this video idea makes me nervous. It's going to be an undertaking to say the least. Um but that's why I feel like I kind of need to do it. And of course, the thumbnail is, I think it's an absolute winner. Like, this obviously is not it, but the fact that I can just draft this up and it's so easy to understand what's going to be going on in the video, I think that's pretty key. It has cute factor, which is I'm all about that. It has huge engineering aspects to it. It's going to be challenging, but it's not going to be the hardest thing I've ever done. It's probably actually going to be kind of easier than my typical thing. Way less niche. Like, this is an anybody niche, right? This is anybody will be able to watch this. You don't have to be a musician, you don't have to be an engineer. Um, you can just see this right away and kind of expect a certain video out of it. And I think naturally speaking, the video is going to be pretty easy to make as well. So that's the plan. But it's going to be huge scale, biggest scale build, technically speaking, that I've ever done. I think, like, I don't even think I've built a fence this big or done anything like that. So this will technically be the biggest thing I've ever made. What are your thoughts on this thumbnail, Ruby? This is just a really rough interpretation of what it will be. Obviously, like, this isn't me, and like my area looks nothing like this. But like, just having the mouse on a gondola, right at the front of the shot there, is the plan. And realistically, the mouse is gonna only be like this big, but I can fix that in Photoshop or whatever. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be doable. I think it'll be doable. Honestly, like, having this sort of modeled out really quick is helping me feel like this is not going to be the hardest thing. I could honestly just 3D print these pulleys. Just use some big bearings. Just 3D print those pulleys. Ah, this is gonna work, guys. This is gonna be doable. But look at the scale of this. So, Ruby, this is a 6-foot tall structure. This is a bicycle rim, which will be the bull wheel of the ski lift per se. Cable will wrap around the bull wheel, and the bull wheel will be motorized up at the top here, and it'll come across these pulleys, which will start the descent. And then this is how big the actual scale is. This is how long the cable's going to have to be. So it's going to have to come all the way down this hill, and then come down here, and then release the mice down here. And then the traps will come back up and end up back to be reset. And I'm actually not, I haven't measured this. I don't know what distance this is, but this feels right. It feels like it's about 250 feet. Yeah, I think this is where we're, like, the more I look at this, the more I'm thinking this is the next video. Can I do this in a couple weeks? Is this possible to do in a couple weeks? I don't know what a catenary is. What's a catenary? Oops. Oh. Wait, I still don't understand what this is. Oh, it's like, so it's like the physical droop of lines. Yeah, I don't know honestly. I think what I'll do is like a test. I will kind of like rig up a frame because I could probably do this in like an hour. Not with the pulleys or anything, but just like a frame, and then just attach a rope to the tip of it, and then just send it down. I'll walk down with it because I'm gonna need to go and assess the path, but I'll bring some line down and see if I can have it so that it's fully tensioned and off the ground. And I can even add a weight halfway through to see what the sag would look like potentially. Yeah, that's the big question right now. I don't know if there's a direct line of sight path down to the bottom. Um, it honestly, it honestly wouldn't hurt to kind of like clear the area a little bit because, um, yeah, totally. There's no way I'm gonna avoid some level of sag. The nice thing is, this is like obviously just a straight line of the property, but in reality, it's kind of like this. Like it'll kind of go out, and then there's like a basically a vertical drop off. It's like maybe like that big, and then there's a road here, and then there's like a super steep part, and then it starts to kind of like, and then it starts to kind of like, wait, it's not that steep. It's not that steep. There's no way it's that steep. It kind of like goes like this, I guess. But it's not that steep. It's probably like that. So like height wise, like I might need to do a pole here or use a tree that's here. Maybe have it come out straight and then come down. Hey, Mr. Sink, what's going on? Um, yeah, did you see the new video? It's doing okay. It's not it was a really slow start and I thought I was like feeling pretty rough about it, but it's doing okay now, but it's definitely not um it was a really niche video. Uh and so I'm just brainstorming an idea that is crazy for me, but I think it could be a banger. But I'm still working on like the siren video. Oh, nice. Okay, wait, let me check it out. Why didn't I didn't get a notification on this at all. Oh, holy. Okay. Uh, well, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this later because this is really this looks amazing. I'm gonna definitely take a read on that. Hand and shoe bass drum technique needs to take off and get more traction. Um, it's just a really niche idea, right? Like Like that's the thing, and that is what I technically want to focus on with my channel. I really like pursuing these super niche ideas, but it's um I'm probably gonna have to pad the channel with some videos that are a little more general audience appeal. Uh, at least until I get to a position where I can really I have a wide enough audience that I can really start to make these super niche ideas more palatable. But um, this is something that I think is going to be a lot more palatable, a lot easier to understand for the general audience. Um, which I want I want to try. I want to try it at least. Yeah, that's kind of what I think. So, Matthias, I just wanted to run this idea by you, since you're the pro here. Um, I'll show you, like, this is like a draft, just a really rough idea of the thumbnail, and it'll be I built a 250-foot cable car for mice, and just curious what you think of this packaging. Um, if you want to assess it or not, you don't have to. I don't want this to be like a session or anything, but this is just this idea came to me as a genuine idea. I genuinely thought about this idea before I thought about I'm saving the mice. I'm saving the mice because normally I live on a farm. Normally people just kill the mice. I don't want to kill the mice. And so that's the whole point of this video is I want to this idea came to me in a dream. It kind of did. Uh, and so I want to be able to trap the mice and relocate them on my property without having to like drive them anywhere. And so that's the whole reason why I want to do this. It's because I don't want to kill the mice, even though I cannot have these mice living around my house, because it would need more height to be. So the reason I have deadly is because these particular mice that I have are deer mice, and they're the carriers of hantavirus, which is a deadly disease. So I thought the deadly was adding like a curiosity, but the actual gondola is not deadly for the mice. This is actually I'm actually saving the mice. But I was wondering if it sort of confuses the message, because it could be better. My dream to save deadly mice. Yeah, pretty much. And I was thinking like an intro would be like, just having a little mouse in a bucket or whatever, and just being like, this is the most deadly animal on my property, and I need to get rid of them, but I don't want to kill them. So I have this ridiculous plan. That's sort of the vibe of the video. And they are very cute. No, 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 no. Oh yeah, just like obviously I would format this properly, but it is very wordy. Evicting deadly mice with engineering. That's a good title, and that is. I was thinking about using the word evicting as well. Um, I was thinking something like evicting pests. I don't know. Um, this is this is this is oh, deadliest is a way that we can. Evicting mice because they didn't pay rent. Yeah, they sure don't. They sure don't, Ruby. Ruby has fun ideas. Um, I over-engineered a solution for my mouse problem that would be a really safe one, but not that strong. Just brainstorming. Yeah, the that's why I was kind of thinking a title like I built a 254 or 250-foot cable car for mice. Like that's a safe title in my opinion, but it at least shows scale because this will be the biggest thing I've ever built. Um, and it definitely would, I think, make most people wonder why would you ever do this? And then I can justify the click with my motivations right at the beginning. Adding animal adds clarity, which is better than thinking the gondola and sending them to their inevitable. Well, it's funny. I've been telling some friends around here about this idea, and yeah, yeah, of course, Ruby. And this is perfect segue. So basically, the idea is I have a mouse problem, and I need to get rid of them. And the typical way, especially in my area, the farming area, um, you trap them and you kill them. And I don't want to kill them, mostly because, well, I'm just like a big softy when it comes to animals, but they're super cute. Um, and so I want to relocate them. And so typically, if I were to trap them in a bucket, which I would normally do, I would have to go drive them somewhere, and I can't do that on a daily basis. So this idea would be a way that I can just like quickly take the bucket full of mice every morning, um, stick it on the gondola, and send them down the hill, and it will release them at the bottom of the hill. And it's like a 250-foot drop, so they're mostly gonna not try to come back right away. And if they do, I'll just keep trapping them and keep sending them down there. But it's my way of trying to solve this problem without having to kill a bunch of cute little animals. Because they're not actually mean. They're not bad animals, but they're disease spreaders, and I don't want that around here. Yeah, so Matthias, I was telling my friends about this. Okay, yeah, I can make the mouse. I can make the mouse bigger. Um, I was telling my friends about this, and they were like, why don't you just why don't you just build a catapult and launch? Okay, wait, I want to look at this. Nutty. Wait. Oh, that's so fun. I want to see. These pictures are so tiny. Oh my god, that's so funny. It is a very similar vibe to this. It's kind of got that like slow news day story vibe. That's so funny. Yeah, yeah, they're like just launch them. I'm like, yeah, but the whole point of this video is uh, I want to be nice to these animals. I don't want to hurt them. Um yeah, I'd have to work on the scaling cuz in reality the mouse is only going to be like this big per trap. So it's not going to I'm not going to be able to use like a real image. I'll have to somehow Photoshop something so that the mouse is like ginormous in the thing. And then in reality the trap is significantly larger than the mouse. But I think that's I think that's fine. Little parachutes. Oh. Yeah, mice are not good at pulling ripcords. Just use an Arduino. It's true. Arduino is the solution. Wait, Matthias, you couldn't see this or Raspberry Pi. There's probably some sort of like timed detonation thing I could use. Just like a little I had to piece this guy together because he didn't come with hands or legs. You got to make the machine and mouse really close to the camera and big. Yeah, while making the human little. Yeah, that's the plan. This was I just did this really quickly. I can maybe try to do something a little bit better. This is exciting. I'm glad you're here now because a depth charge, but an altitude charge. That we can do that. We can definitely do that. Let's start with the mouse and make it like pretty big. I wonder if I. Oh yeah, maybe I can just have him like hanging out of the window of the gondola. Like this one. Because the other thing is there's going to be multiple of these. I'm going to have a bunch of gondolas, so it's there's going to be like a train because I want to have like 4 or 5 traps set up, and I'll be able to so in the thumbnail I can have it like this. Hold on. Flip horizontal. Yeah, I can have it like this. Have the mouse sticking out. The gondola super close. And then I could have a second gondola in the background. This doesn't look good, but Oh, God. I can't grab that one now. Have this in the background. Have the cable. Oh, no, that doesn't quite work. It almost has to be like a straight line, actually. I don't quite know what I'm doing here. Okay, wait. For your composition, take that image I sent you and use it to put the mice where the circle closes. Oh, golden ratio? How does that work in a 16 by 9 form, like this? And then put the mouse like right there. Like, is that big enough? Because then if I did that, then I could take this, bring this down. Maybe like this. Have the little guy sticking out. Then I could have the second one here-ish. Use the rule of thirds too, though, for the one you had first. It really works. And then like the cable kind of goes like that. I used the principles of the golden ratio to build a gondola to evict my deadliest squatter tenants. It's not. It's not a lie. That's not a lie. You know, and then wherever the circle closes is the central point of the composition. So when you say the circle closes, do you mean like right here, where the spiral is the smallest? Perfect titles to reduce your click-through rate. Okay, so I think flipping it vertically makes the most sense, and then we could have our little guy. Little guy can be there-ish. Okay, so I'm just curious what this is gonna do. Wait, I want to add like. Okay, back to the thumbnail for a minute. Can you add 2 cars to the cable and have one of them super up close like this? It did not. It did not do what I wanted it to do. Let's just see if it understands what this. Can you make a realistic photo of this super perspective shot of a couple gondola cars carrying mice down a hill? Notice that one of the cars is so close to the camera that it is partially cut off, while the second car is further back on the line and fully in frame. Yeah. Mice on a Wire is a good song title, even a band name. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. This is what I'm talking about. Something like this, except going downhill and then I'm standing in the back. This looks good. Um, can you make it so the mouse closest to the camera is the one further down the hill? So basically, just change the direction of the cars, but don't change the layout. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll do that. Sorry, I just read that. Except its paws are through the glass. Are they actually? Oh my gosh. Look at this one too. I like this little guy. He's looking at his buddy. It's not getting it. Okay, so I'm just gonna edit this prompt. Use the golden ratio to make the subject of the image most prominent. Yeah, can't Harry Potter do that? Can't Harry Potter make stuff go through glass? It's a Dudley mouse. It's a Dudley mouse. This looks the exact same. I think I think it literally just put just put the crosshairs on it. This is a good start. Like obviously make the scenery match the scale of how big the mice actually are, because right now they look human sized. This is Gemini. What would be better? Yeah, I know. It does this stuff all the time. It's so frustrating. Like, what is this? It just I mean, this is pretty cute. It does get it eventually. Like if I really work at it, it will understand. But it's yeah, like what would is there a better AI for this stuff? I should learn some Photoshop though. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. I need to kind of draw it out and then show it to it. I need to like add. Okay, I'm gonna just duplicate this and delete these guys. And then just copy all of this and bring it down here and send it all the way back. Um, Firefly. Yeah, of course. Shoot me a DM anytime. Take this image and change it so that the camera is looking uphill and the mouse closest to the camera is the one lowest on the hill. Oh, yeah, that's the way to word it. I suck at trying to give. I always forget to like um just treat it like a human sometimes. Oh, yes. That is so wrong. Dumb. Dumb. Okay, I'm just going to try this one more time. I might have to give it more than this. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, give me 1 second, Matthias. Uh, um, okay. Uh, Now you have to leave. Thanks for being around. And I've been square. What do you mean you've been square? Um, Glad you have fun though. This was fun for me too, and I really enjoyed the titles and coming up with ideas. It's so fun, and it definitely is so much more fun to do it with people. Because doing this by myself, I just get mad. Um, I just don't know what you mean by you've been square. capture the scale and perspective of this mock-up. It's not doing it, but sometimes you just gotta ask it to do things on a really general basis, just so I can get some potentially new perspectives. Maybe what I was imagining isn't the right. What are you talking about? You've done this a million times. Um, uh, why isn't it not doing this? I don't know what's going on. Yo, Gemini, what's your deal? I'm gonna wrap this stream up. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up because I gotta make dinner and I gotta watch Avatar. But I gotta head out. But if you're free, oh, why am I talking? It's not doing it. What is going on? Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap this stream up. This was really fun. This went longer than I expected. Show me what concept one would look like. Yeah, so I want to. I think we might do that. I think we might actually do this one. This feels good. I love the excitement behind it. I feel like this has the opportunity to be something really good. So really appreciate the input, y'all. Really appreciate hanging out. This was the second stream today. This was by far the better one. The earlier one was a bit rough for me. So it was nice to wrap up the day with a fun stream like this. I will see you all. I think I might not do the stream tomorrow. Now I'm thinking about it. I'll see. I'll put a message on the on. I'll post something on the channel if I end up bailing on it, because tomorrow is a regular scheduled stream day, but I am going out, so I'm not sure what time I'll be back and that kind of thing. So I will let you know. But if either way, I'm going to try and stream a lot more throughout the week. And I think we're going to start planning this thing. I think let's start planning this thing. I also have to talk to some people to make sure it's all good to go. But okay, thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I'm not even sure if folks are still on here, but